morning. How are you? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you're doing well. I'm Deborah. Sorry, that came out kind of funny, but I do hope you're doing well. I'm Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're going to be looking at the collective energy for today, March 5th. It's a Tuesday. I hope that your week's off to a good start. There's been kind of some tension in the air. We're seeing that. A lot of planetary placements in Pisces are lending more of an emotional flair to the energy lately. We got to be really conscious and mindful with how we present in our life, especially how we're communicating our goals, our dreams, visions, etc. Not everyone is going to be on board. And we just kind of have to remember that. That's the nature of the beast right now in the collective energy. We're really being pushed to dive within ourselves, question what we want, what's working in our life, what we feel unsatisfied with, etc., and make changes accordingly. Some of it can be around small, simple things that are quick, easy fixes. Other things are going to take a little bit more time, energy, tender, loving care. So that's why I do these readings, because it's such great insight when we can't really see, right? When we don't know exactly, or we're not feeling confident in our direction. I love to start them out with an energy cleansing, just clearing the space, clearing the vibes. It's a great time to set your intention. So if there's any questions you want answered, if you want spirit to speak a specific message, now is the time to do it. And then the smudge stick, I'm using Palo Santo. It just helps kind of break up the energy. Energy can get compact and dense and resistant, etc. And this just helps release any obstacles, blocks, both physically, energetically, that might be in our path. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for our highest and best. Remove fear, doubt, insecurity, anything that's weighing us down today, emotions, feelings, being triggered. Help me to be a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels, Mama. Amen. This Palo Santo is crazy. I think I need to get some new smudge. I'll burn this out first, but it's like acting all crazy. Look at that. It's all crazy. I don't know if you can tell. It looks crazy on my end, but the way it burned is a little janky. All right, back to it. So today is Tuesday. These messages are always timeless and fluid. Use your discernment. If it resonates, you'll know. If it doesn't, don't pick it up. I also do personal readings as a side note. Hit me up. I love to help support in whatever way possible. That information's in the description box below. And when you have a second, just make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. It really just helps throw these videos out into the algorithm so more people can watch them. So, you know how it goes. Yay to YouTube. It actually is pretty cool how you can pretty much find anything you want nowadays, any information. We are like overly saturated with information. And sometimes having too much information makes it also difficult to see things clearly, right? Because we feel like we're spread in so many different directions. And that's definitely the theme for today. We have a lot on our plate. There's a lot going on, and so we really want to make sure that we're investing the right energy into the right things. It's not going to make us feel so exhausted. It's not going to make us feel so burnt out at the end of the day. Tuesday is the day of Mars. It's ruled by Aries and Scorpio, and it has a lot of fiery aggression around it. I've been noticing this in the collective as well, just people more emotional, getting triggered a lot easier, etc. So be really careful and mindful with how you approach situations. Communication is a little bit better for us today, even in those situations where someone might be popping off. we have more harmony around it. Yes, we're still like finding some resistance with this Venus-Mars energy being right on top of each other, where we have to kind of play the game a little bit. Like we have to find ways, find solutions that work best for everybody versus, you know, kind of tapping into this selfish nature. Our growth that we're doing right now is about who we are. It is that Chiron and North Node in Aries. So we're healing parts of ourselves where we need to find more empowerment, where we need to find, you know, just better ways of being, more alignment within who we are, what we want, what our life path is, etc. So there's a lot of healing going in that area. And we do need to be selfish in those spaces. But when we're translating it out to the collective, we kind of need to watch what we're saying, who we're saying it to, how we're saying it, etc. So there's a lot of patience. It's interesting because I do feel like this dichotomy between energy, momentum, pushing us forward. I almost feel like it's like very hard to put the pause button on right now because so much is happening and we got to keep up. But at the same time, your environment is showing that it's waiting, being patient with what's surrounding, trying to see what they catch, so to speak. I'm hearing this message as twofold. We've been seeing a lot of past lingering energies. Okay, I love this. We got this guide yesterday as well. Let me finish my statement first. So we've been seeing a lot of past lingering energies, you know, throwing out some bait, triggering, etc., trying to start fights or stir the pot, seeing what they can catch, seeing what they get out of those attempts is what I'm hearing. Where you, like, I love this today because your guides are pointing you in the other direction. It's like, just stay away from this, right? Like it goes like this. I'm looking at it this way, right? So pointing in the opposite direction. Don't hang around. Don't linger around this energy to wait and see. You already know what it is. So keep moving forward. It's only going to make it more frustrating, more difficult if you linger for too long. And this is actually allowing new birth to blossom, which I love for you, you know, for both of you really, or whatever situation is on your mind right now. New beginnings are afoot, and for both individuals, for both groups, both parties who are participating in this, I do feel like the past is lingering around a little bit to see what is happening. We got this healing energy yesterday. It popped out during the shuffle. And today it's in our blocked energy. So, you know, really the importance of taking time out for yourself, self-love, self-care. That is the best way to naturally heal ourselves. You know, just taking care of our well-being, eating right, getting some exercise, you know, taking time to quiet our mind, our soul, doing some meditation. Transcendental meditation is dope. Definitely check it out. It is amazing how much of a healer it is. It really brings balance between the duality that we find even in our own being. And Spirit is asking you to quiet down a little bit, spend some time for healing. I also hear this as a message for those past lingering energies. They need some healing too. Whether or not they're going to do it is up to them, right? You don't have to be worried about that. But we do see two individuals depicted in this card with that nice sage smudge bundle that really kind of cleanses out the energy, cleanses out the tension, the discord that is between you two. But it's being blocked. And honestly, we haven't really been seeing a lot of movement with this past person, past situation. It's really just kind of looming, hanging in the balance. And we're forced to keep plugging away, doing our due, and not getting caught up in it, which again is easier said than done. Yeah, there is going to be a final test, a final hoop to jump through, if not a couple more. I'm hearing this as there's going to be one major thing, you know, whether it's someone coming after you, trying to trigger you, trying to say this, that, and the other, etc. They're really trying to put on the pressure right now is what I'm hearing. So again, be mindful with how you're showing up. Keep plugging away at your work. Just keep putting in your due diligence, right? Focus on what matters, what deserves your time and attention, and not getting too plugged into or too swept up into, like, you know, the bullshit people are trying to trip you up with. Like, how horrible is that? And people do things like this, right? They test, they push the boundaries, they see what they can get away with. And it is in this vein of just, like, you know, trying to see how strong you are, trying to see how far they can push you, etc. And that's why Spirit is just asking you to walk away, walk in the opposite direction. You don't even need to pay attention to this. Yeah, you have so much to offer with this Queen of Wands energy coming out. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, 11/11 on the clock, which is all about our empowerment. I love the Queen of Wands because she is very alluring. She's charismatic. She draws people in. She draws opportunities in. And this is that energy that you're emanating today. And I feel like I'm hearing people in the past are jealous of that. They're trying to get you to trip up. They're trying to change your beliefs around that, make you think, make you feel you don't deserve or you can't have, or this is your only option, so you got to stick with it, is what I'm hearing. And I feel like it's like they know what they're doing. In some ways, this patient energy is rubbing me the wrong way, because it's like someone who's waiting, planning, and plotting. I can just see them, like, watching in the background, right? Like, kind of just like, what is it? Twiddling their fingers, getting ready for this test to show up, you know, whenever they decide to execute that. 222 is on the clock when I brought that card up, which really does talk about our dynamics within partnership, within relationship. Okay, so we have Two of Cups energy. This is love. This is the beginning of something new. And Three of Cups. Okay, so there's this value of which way do we go, you know? Is it Two of Cups? Is it Three of Cups? Do I love this person, or are we just friends? Is it worth it for me to invest in it? There's a lot of questioning going on within your outside environment. So whomever you're dealing with, lots of questions. That's part of why they're being patient. I don't mean to throw shade on them, but I do, like I said, I do feel like it's kind of coming from this place of doubt, insecurity within themselves. And because of that, they're moving to these mechanisms of control and manipulation, where you're doing your due. You know, you're not afraid to put yourself out there. You're not afraid to, like, yeah, bring in new opportunities is what this is saying. This is the spiritual card in this deck. So really being able to connect with that principle of who we are, of our dharma, what our life path is. And we're in this phase of birthing something new, something that's very strong, that's very beautiful and powerful. And you're not afraid, like I said, to go out and find it, which I love, because I think that was actually like a message yesterday, to put yourself out there. It just keeps the energy, the momentum flowing when we do, when we network, when we connect with new people, places, and things. It really gives us the opportunity, if something falls flat, right? If someone's waiting too long or doesn't want to take any initiative or is pretending like they don't care, okay, right? They can do that. That's their choice, right? But it's up to us to continue to find new opportunities and not get sucked into their indecision, what they want out of the relationship. It's bringing in new abundance. I love this. This Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. We also have in the astrology today, so Black Moon Lilith is in Virgo, and that really speaks to our health, our well-being, the way we take care of ourselves, etc. And there might be some knee-jerk reactions where it's like, oh, I don't really have to do that for myself right now. I don't have to. There's a lot in the air though, even like on a wellness front. So it is really important to take care of yourself right now. There's a lot floating around. It's easier to pick stuff up, and it's easier to kind of put our wellness on the back burner with Black Moon Lilith being there. But when we pay attention, she's actually harmoniously aspected to that North Node and Chiron, which are all about our healing, our evolution, and our growth. And which I love because it does talk about how she can bring in that element of reprieve when we are paying attention to our wellness, when we're paying attention to the lessons we need to learn. It's just a little challenging because it goes against our ego. And we might be dealing with people who aren't really understanding us in a way that we want them to. But it's not up to us to force that. It's up to that person, right? To kind of be able to switch the script, switch the perspective. So again, not putting, this Spirit's really saying to release and let go of the toxicity, the stuff that is weighing you down. And I'm hearing this as well, like keeping you in this constant state of healing, right? Like, I don't know, we can overanalyze things until they're nothing, right? I don't know, how far it goes, but just analyze. Refine. That's what I was looking for. We can refine things like until it's blue in the face, right? But at some point we need to stop the process and have some fun, right? Like enjoy life. There's always going to be that duality. There's always going to be the time for work, to make things happen, like today, the day of Mars. But then there's also going to be time for surrender. If we're constantly pushing forward, we're diving into that principle of force. And life is very beautiful that it really allows things to unfold if we are patient, if we do take the time to kind of see, sense, and feel through what we're experiencing. Mars also brings out a lot of anger, a lot of aggression, going back to those emotions popping off lately. There's a lot of fear and anxiety around releasing and letting go, around what this newness is going to actually look like. But it feels good. It feels good, We just have to really make sure that we're defending ourselves. Defend what you have built, what you've worked for. Don't be pushed around, by outside people who are trying to test you, who are trying to dangle a carrot, breadcrumb you, kind of throw a distraction in your path. Make sure you're being wise. And it is going to be painful. There is a lot of pain in this situation because you are dealing with someone who, I don't know, they're reacting. What is that phrase? Hurt people. So it's someone who is hurting, who's coming after you, and in a very low vibey way, in a way that really speaks to them, their character. But for you, I feel like it might be, they might be doing something that's like way more than what you imagined. But you kind of know who this person is or how they react, how they show up. And it might be painful, right? There might be a lot of grief from it. And this is what you've been avoiding, is what I'm hearing. Because it didn't have to go that way. You didn't want it to go that way, but it has, unfortunately. And they are the person that has made it so. But the more we can dive into what we care about, what we love, what we're passionate about, the more it will grow. And the easier it is going to make navigating through the trials and the tribulations. Okay, so Page of Cups, Justice energy, really remaining balanced. Giving just enough of what you need to, but not allowing not allowing someone to strong arm you into what they want, how they want you to behave, act and behave is what I'm hearing. I'm going to pull one more. Okay, 3 of Pentacles. So a lot of this is about, if you do have to continually deal with this person, it's like finding a way to work together. Even if you don't like them, even if they're not your favorite, etc. Just finding a different way. Because there's a lot being thrown back and forth is what I'm hearing. I'm going to clarify. Yeah, it's all this wands, this Knight of Wands energy. So it's like when we pop off, when we get emotionally triggered or we're reacting to something someone is throwing our way. And we don't want to do that anymore. That's actually what's just like keeping us intertwined to this past cycle. It's making it really hard to, and I'm hearing this as like whatever you're dealing with, it is really hard to avoid. It's hard to kind of get out of your energy because it's stuck for some reason. This person or situation is very heavily intertwined. It's probably a karmic lesson that you're moving through, but they won't go away is what I'm hearing. They won't go away. Yeah, mirroring life. But you continuing to engage with them is keeping them around as well, So you need to find a way to disconnect. Yes, to be friendly and kind where you can, polite, But again, don't be a doormat. Don't be pushed over by them and their agenda. Because I don't really feel like they're the one changing. Yeah, so this is about, here, I'm hearing this in the dream space with Neptune in Pisces. We have a lot of information that's coming to us in our dream space. Really pay attention to those dreams. If you need to write them down, jot a few words and then reflect on it, when you have more time, etc. And this also talks about what you're building your dreams towards, right? This newness that's coming in, needing to tap into the magic and the potential that life is offering. Cast a spell to remove any blockages that are keeping you stuck and create movement and flow back into your life. Magic is just as simple as setting intention. It can be a prayer. It can be lighting a candle. It can be, actually doing a little ritual or ceremony, whatever you vibe with. But it's setting that intention to say, I'm no longer going to let this individual make things difficult for me. I'm setting my boundaries and needing really strong boundaries. And that's hard to do because there is a lot of pain and sadness. This person does feel very relentless. For some reason, they keep coming and thinking that, they need to test you. But you, again, like I said, like you feeding into that is staying engaged. Even if you feel like, I'm standing up for myself, I'm speaking my truth, blah, blah, blah. That's great. But people like this don't hear it, right? They have their little earmuffs on. They don't want to hear what you have to say. They're not going to give you the credit because it's against what they want. And this is someone who's very stubborn, someone who plays a lot of games, who's incredibly manipulative and controlling, controls your emotions, controls how they want you to show up. Yeah, that warrior spirit. This is a big deal, right? We have to be able to dive into our warrior spirit in order to overcome and push through. Stand your ground and unlock the warrior within to help you conquer any obstacle and secure your victory. That's what it's about. It's about securing your victory. Not allowing, not allowing this person to push you one way or the other into their agenda. And unfortunately, when we're dealing with people and we have to kind of engage in this warrior energy, it can be very difficult because we want to hope or believe in the best in other people. But at the same time, it's about safeguarding, protecting yourself, anyone else that might be involved that needs that protection. with this 9 of Wands energy, because they are coming after you. And they're coming after you in a way that, as I said before, it feels low vibey. It feels like it's a lot of control and manipulation. And it really is about throwing you off course. So pay attention. You know, this doesn't have to be with someone you know. This can be someone you have very loose engagements with, right? Like someone you just met, someone you're just learning, etc. It is that quintessential test. We've been talking a lot about this throughout the past couple months. Just as Pluto is transitioning into Aquarius, there are going to be these little tests that come across our path. Spirit wants to make sure that we're ready for the things we're asking for. And we want them, right? We want them. We want to be ready, etc. But we also have to learn how to navigate this duality, right? Not everything is one way or the other. Opposites exist within the whole, right? It's that value of the yin and yang. You're never without the other aspect. And we need to remember that. We can't keep this rose-colored glasses of like, oh, I hope it's going to work out this way, or I hope they're going to learn their lesson, or I hope that they're going to be kinder to me this time around. It's just not happening. And the quicker that we learn that, the easier it is going to be to overcome. Yes, it doesn't mean that the pain, the sadness, the grief is not there. It's very heartbreaking watching people like screw you over, you know, talk shit, say one thing to your face, do another behind your back, you know, kind of plot and plan, etc. Those are really painful experiences to go through. People can do some really down and dirty things. Spirit's asking us to rise above, you know, really fight for those dreams that you're hoping for with that Venus-Mars energy in Aquarius. That is allowing the principles of our utopia to flourish. And we can't really get thrown off track at this time, because it's going to make it a lot harder to backtrack and kind of reset. We have some good energy. We have good momentum to continue pushing forward. It does feel a little exhausting. We are dealing with people's aggression, their anger issues, etc. So try not to take responsibility for it. I know, like, I don't really have a good, you know, the best thing we can do is really just like help ourselves, heal ourselves, find wellness and grounding within what we do, and then let people be what they need to be. Everybody has their own path. Everyone has their own evolution. And, you know, everyone can have awareness or not. So it's up to them. It's not your responsibility to take on or try to fix any of these problems. I hope this helped. Thank you so much for your time and energy always, especially if you made it to this part of the video. I really appreciate that. Kindness, the blessings. I'm sending all the love and blessings your way, especially with whatever you're navigating through in this dynamic. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear how it plays out for you. I love to support to the best of my ability. Thank you for your time and energy always. I really appreciate you. Sending the love back your way.